Well, hello and welcome. My name is Rachel Kilgore. I am from the Graduate Writing Center at Baylor University, and I am here today to show you a little bit about Zotero. Now, there are a lot of resources for Zotero. You can find videos on YouTube. Baylor has a lot of resources. They have full workshops. They'll teach you everything. The librarians at Baylor know so much more about this than I do, but as just a normal writer, I'm going to show you just the very basics and how I use it for my own research. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to get Zotero on your computer, along with the Zotero connector, and then I'm going to show you basically what it looks like and how to add sources and then how to cite sources. So it works generally as a way to organize your research, but also as a way to produce citation pages, and in-text citations is going to be quite a bit more accurate, give you quite a bit more control than EasyBib will give you and these other citation generators. Very accurate, very useful tool. So first of all, how to get it? You need to go to Zotero.org. This is not a thing that Baylor has to subscribe to. It is free for everybody online. So that means that you'll have access to it once you're through with Baylor as well, which is another good reason to use Zotero. Just go to this website. This is the downloads page, and you'll want to get both of these if you use Google Chrome. I highly recommend the connector. I'll show you in a little bit how that works. But just go ahead and download this and install the Chrome connector. And then once you've done that, and once you have got Zotero on your computer, let me show you what it looks like. This is my own Zotero page, and the basic layout is that you have your folders over here, and then this is my Browning folder. This is the chapter of my dissertation that I'm working on right now. I'm in the English department, and I am working on the rise of the novel. And then over here in this panel to the right, you will see the details of a particular source. So here is a journal article on the ring in the book by Henry Tallon, and the basic information about that. And then here on the notes page, this is the other thing that I often use. Whenever I have a source that I think I will use for my research, I take notes on it that I can then copy and paste into my research. Everything in this panel you can see is you have full editing capabilities, and you can copy and paste into Microsoft Word as is useful to you. You can copy and paste back from Microsoft Word as well. Let me show you one that has a little bit more detail in it so you can see how much you can do. This is a chapter, so this is a book. Let me show you the information page. This is a book, but it's a book section. It's a particular chapter from that book by Anthony Esolen. And so I am just annotating the one book. And so here are my notes from that. Personally, I like to put my own thoughts in italics so that I can distinguish and go back and forth. And then I also like to be sure that I am citing as I go, because it will save me a lot of time later. This is one of the tricks I've learned through the dissertation writing process, is to always keep track of your sources. So when I copy and paste it into Word to use in my paper, then I will frequently come back here and change the text color to gray so that I'll know that I just used that in my paper, so that I'm careful not to double cite things on that before. So that's basically what it looks like. As you can see, there is a whole lot here that you can do. You can use multiple folders. You can put one item in several folders if that's useful to you. I'm just showing you the basics today, so feel free to poke around and find out what else you can do that is useful to you. Let me show you first how to add something manually, and then how to add it using the plugin using the website. So to add a source manually is very simple. You just go up to this little new item source button, and click that drop down, it'll give you the most frequently used ones, the ones that you use the most frequently here. And then, oh, I'm sorry. And then if you need more than that, you can just click more and you can see how many, many, many different things you can cite. So really, literally anything that you'll want to cite can be cited here, and it will give you this form. Once you're in the form, you can also change that here. So if I decide that I don't want to cite a presentation, I want to cite a letter, it will give me different categories to fill out. So basically, you just fill out these categories. You can add as many authors or editors or contributors as you need. You can add your notes. There's also a tags feature, so if you want to search for something in particular or pull out everything tagged a particular way, you can do that. You can relate things. I have not tried many of these, but they look interesting to me. So you can just add the basic information here manually, or you can use that plugin that I showed you that you'll want to download. So if we go back to Chrome, it's move myself here. This plugin right here will give you a little icon on every page that will change the way it looks on each page, but it'll look something like this little doodad up here. So for instance, when I'm in the Baylor databases doing research, so Robert Browning he wrote what I'm arguing is a verse novel, so I've been doing research in verse novels. So if I search for this and I get a whole page of sources on the verse novel, then my icon up here changes to a folder because it's noticing multiple sources. If I click that folder, it will give me all the possibilities, and there are a lot. So I'm just going to choose, this one looks very relevant to my research, and oh, this one looks interesting. So I'm going to just add 2 to show you how this works. So if I choose these 2 and I click OK, then it tells me that it's putting it in the Browning Backstage folder. That's because that's the one that's active right now. I can always move these later if I mess up and put it on the wrong folder, or I can go ahead and tell it right here which folder I want it to be put in. But that's the folder I'm working on, so that's accurate. And these are the things that it's added. So if I go back then to my Zotero page, that's the folder I'm in. You can see here is one of those that I added. I forgot the title of the other one that I added, but here we've got this one, and you can see, if you click on that arrow, that it's also added the EBSCO record. Oh, here's the other one. They both added their EBSCO records, but I want to first go in and make sure that it got all the information accurate. Ooh. This is actually one that I've been looking for. That's exciting. Okay, so it messed up a little bit because I don't understand page 302. That's not supposed to be there. So I'm just going to go back and double check and see what it was thinking there. That was, yeah, the verse novel. So it's supposed to be telling me the pages, how many pages are in the book. That's not actually important to MLA citation, I happen to know. So I am going to just delete this because it doesn't have a series and number. So it messed up. It does that. The nice thing about Zotero is that it does allow you to completely edit this. So you do need to be a little bit familiar with you know, the stuff that should go in the categories. That's pretty easy. This is the date that I accessed it, but as you can see, it's in the wrong order, and it is actually unimportant. What I really need is the date that it was published, so I'm going to go back and look at that. So it was published in 2017. They just accidentally put it in twice. That's a little funny. So I'm going to just change that. And, oh, here we go. Number of pages, yes, 302 pages, ISBN. Okay, the rest of this looks pretty good. So I am going to leave that for now, and I'm now ready to add my notes. So I can come in here and put in the date and start typing my notes. You'll notice that whatever I put in on the first line up here is what shows up here. That's useful to you as you get a little longer, so I'm going to say these are just reading notes. And then I can start adding them here. So once I have put in all of the sources that I want and I'm ready to make an annotated bibliography or a works cited page or just to do in-text citations, then what I do is I come to this folder and I highlight all my sources. It doesn't matter if they're opened or collapsed. So I'm going to click the first one and then I'm going to hold the shift key and click the last one just to highlight all of them. I'm going to right click. As you can see, there are many other things that you can do, but I'm just going to show you how to create a bibliography from these items. You can also generate a report that gives you the notes that you've added as well. So there's lots of other fun things you can do. So I'm going to just click Create a Bibliography. I'm normally in the MLA, but as you can see, there's plenty of other options that you can choose from, including APA, the Chicago Style Manual, Manual Style, and many others as well. You can get it to show you what the in-text citation should look like. For now, I am just going to do the bibliography, and I am going to copy it to the clipboard. And I'm going to say, OK. And it looks like nothing has happened, but if I pull up a Word document, and then I click Paste, you can see that it gives me absolutely all of the information. It's also giving me a little bit extra. I don't need this EBSCO record, so I'm just going to delete those for what it was thinking, but the rest of this looks exactly accurate and all properly formatted. It matches the formatting of the document that I'm going to. It has everything in the right order, because as long as you put that information in correctly, you can see that it will fill in the rest of the information that is needed by the style that you've chosen. It does do the math of it right. It just needs to know what information. So as long as you put your information in accurately, it will give you an accurate works cited page. It will work so much better for you than EasyBib or any other online citation generator, mainly because of this ability to entirely format and change the information that's going into it. So this is how I use Zotero. This is how you can use Zotero to take notes and to go from the sources that you have into a research paper. I highly recommend it, and I hope you have fun. Good luck.